All right, so if you own a women's fashion and clothing brand that's doing at least $1 million a year, I'll show you how to attract more new customers and grow to 3 to 5+ million in sales efficiently with viral bestseller ads in this in-depth guide. To book a call, it'll be in the description, and I've also included testimonials from other women's fashion brands like yours. Now, to go over some results, this women's fashion brand from March 2022 to 2023 for a whole year spent about 150K rounded up, made over 1.8 million at a 12.332 return on ad spend. Last 30 days from February 10th to March 11th, spent about 19K, made over around 140K at a 7.31 return on ad spend. And this one from about 1 month for this year, spent about 17K, made over 185K at a 10.78 return on ad spend. Now, return on ad spend obviously depends on your margins. And these are many of the women's fashion brands that we work with and also got results for. Perhaps you may recognize some of their names. And these are the many video testimonials that women's fashion brands like yours and the founders gave to reviewing this process and also our work. So to show you that it's not fake, here are some video I'll play at Levi's.
Hi, my name is Valentina Michetti.
So you can see all this on the link in this document. I'll include it in the description. So who this is for? This is for, again, for women's fashion and clothing brands who are doing around at least 1 million annually with gross profit margins between around 50 to 70+%, and average order values around $60 to even $500+ that want to take advantage of this recession and experience rapid and profitable growth online. So let's cover some trends. Inflation and recession is causing stress and resetting the market. We are likely in a recession. Some say we may be still heading into one. If you have never been through one before, this period may feel uncertain. However, let's lay out the facts of what's happening right now in the market and in fashion. What happens during a recession is that the market resets. What do I mean by this? When times are great, brands who had mediocre products and customer experience, okay branding, bad economics, still did well because the rising tide raises all ships. Look at 2020 when the pandemic struck. Government forgivable loans, monthly unemployment checks led to an enormous e-commerce boom. People were just spending. And the mediocre brands were also reaping the benefits for just existing. However, when a downturn occurs, those brands are exposed to the reset and they take a heavy hit or get wiped out. There are three main reasons for this. Customers during recessions will gravitate towards brands who offer actual products of value. They have strong branding and have great customer experiences. They are more conscious of who they spend their money on because of the uncertainty in the market. Second, cost of advertising and marketing will always go up. And as you scale to more audiences who don't know you yet, getting those first-time customers to buy will always cost more. This is skeptical, naturally. Third, on the back end, due to inflation and market conditions, costs are rising and eating to back-end margins like cost of goods sold and shipping and delivering costs in general are just rising up, even just for consumers. And thanks to the pandemic, demand for fast shipping and delivery is accelerated. When customers buy a product, they wanted it delivered yesterday, right? So with these three elements happening simultaneously, if the business isn't turning much profit and is running on thin margins, you can quickly see how they will be in the red and be wiped out very quickly. They cannot stay afloat and sustain if something goes wrong. It's like a triangle of death if your brand isn't focused on solid foundations. If they decide, for example, if they decide to cut marketing and advertising, their sales plummet, but they need sales in order to keep moving product, paying staff, and keeping the business afloat. If they decide to lower prices to compensate for sales, their margins drop, their brand perception devalues. If they want to go cheaper on shipping and delivery, customers are mad, they lose them, and the brand gets negative reviews. What I mean by cheaper on shipping delivery is that it's not finding a better service, it's finding a service that costs less but has worse quality, right? And if you go cheaper on the product, same result as above. Product quality drops, people don't like it, brand devalues. So what's the solution? So they either have to increase their prices to keep up and stay ahead, or restructure their business to be hyper efficient to increase profit margin and keep growing. Now, Apple iOS and tracking, and our good friend Tim Cook. And now, ever since 2021, iOS completely changed the landscape for ads on social platforms. I'm sure you're aware of this. It wasn't as easy as before when you set up a few things and customers flooded in like Facebook in 2018. Tracking and attribution isn't 100% accurate anymore. This was like a reset in the ad market because Facebook isn't on easy mode anymore. It exposed people who were just relying on outdated strategies, too much retargeting, 30-day view, and just button pushing. Whereas now, it takes good fundamentals, strategy, and content to succeed, good content, instead of just button pushing. So for fashion brands and real experts, like fashion brands who offer real value, it was a breath of fresh air. It wiped out many people who were just riding the wave, therefore lowering ad costs. Now in 2022 and 2023, iOS and attribution isn't as bad as it was when it was first announced in 2021. Meta, Facebook, has also gotten better with their attribution. So it's not like it used to be, but you can still grow and track a majority of data just from the ads manager, plus setting up Google Analytics to make it as accurate as possible. And there are also established attribution softwares now that can track 100% accurately. And the best one we found is called Triple Whale. We use it for all our fashion clients, and I can get you a big discount on them. Just ask me. And bottom line, it comes down to a quality product that's in demand and viral bestseller ads, which I'll cover later in this document. Now, traditional ad agencies are a thing of the past. I've tried agencies for my fashion brand when I was growing it. None of them lasted long term. More on this later. Then you probably experienced the same things too. Taking 3 months to test and ramp up ads isn't cutting it. That is just jargon to charge you for 3 months minimum on a flat fee. It translates to, I don't know what I'm doing. And most agency teams are outsourced contractors and button pushers. There's the same strategies for everyone and everything. They all look at the same gurus. It's all a cookie cutter approach, which is why when the platforms change, like iOS, recession causing stress, they can't adapt fast enough, which makes their clients suffer as a result. This explains why it doesn't work. They don't understand fashion deeply enough. To adapt in this current environment, your ads need to be profitable within 1 month or less. You need a specialized expert who understands the industry to move fast and bring in profit from day one and consistently. Efficiency and profit is the name of the game. Now, ChatGPT versus Google. AI has been the craze lately. It's already been a part of our lives for over a decade. It's just now made a lot more advancements. It just blew up pretty much, right? So I'm going to focus on how this applies to fashion advertising specifically for Google and socials. If you don't know yet, ChatGPT, which is this thing, is essentially an AI where you can ask specific questions, give scenarios, etc., and it'll spit out useful data and answers. It's a very useful AI. It comes down to your creativity and input, and quality input. It can summarize books for you. It can find you specific answers, do research for you, almost anything. What does it sound like? It's like a search engine now, and that conflicts with Google's monopoly of search and search engine optimization. How? People will start to figure out, or even doing now, what is the best way to optimize search ads, SEO strategies, keyword rankings using ChatGPT. So instead of playing only in the Google arena, people now have the ChatGPT arena, which can help them beat competition on the Google arena. So now it's AI search engine versus AI search engine. And this is already impacting and will continue to impact the Google ad space and the SEO, I'd say too. It makes it more competitive, causing ad costs to rise while decreasing ad performance. Then ChatGPT is still in an infant stage, yet it advances extremely quickly and has lots of capabilities that Google already has. What took Google decades took ChatGPT a couple of years. And who knows where ChatGPT is going, right? So if you rely heavily on Google Ads, there is a potential big risk now. You have to delegate risk and move more spend to social platforms, the metaverse, which I'm covering now. So social platforms are maturing. The online social platforms as a collective are now the metaverse. The metaverse is the entry point of all commerce. If you don't exist in the metaverse, you technically don't really exist. And as the market shifts more and more online, the metaverse owns more and more of the customers you want. It's a massive distribution channel for your brand. So here, your brand exists in the metaverse. You use the metaverse to distribute your products. And then in turn, you turn their users into your customers, bringing them into your world. You now own the users. Wholesale is a way of distribution as well. It helps with brand awareness and driving sales. However, compared to direct to consumer, it has a lot of disadvantages. I'm not saying wholesale is bad. I'm just making a comparison here. You don't own any customer data and margins are thinner. You don't actually own much. During the pandemic, brands relying on wholesale took a huge hit because the wholesalers took a hit, therefore you would take a hit. Now they realize that to take direct to consumer seriously and are rushing to establish themselves in the metaverse. D2C has more margins, scale, and ownership. It's a race to establish as much digital real estate as possible in the metaverse to continue thriving and growing. So if you have a strong brand and products customer loves, how do you take advantage of this and keep growing during these times? Well, here's the core concept. When times are great, you advertise. When times are bad, you must advertise. Now, the main reason behind this is customer perception. So let's pretend you like Chanel, right? You have their catwalk books, you attend their fashion shows, you see their ads, you follow them on social media, everything. And now let's say Chanel decides to stop social media marketing, stop advertising, stop fashion shows, pretty much disappearing. If for a full month you don't see a trace of them anymore, your brain will have erased it. You are a busy individual and you just keep moving on with your life. And a good exercise to prove this to you is to ask yourself right now, what did you eat for lunch 3 days ago? Right? See if you can think of it off the top of your head. Chances are you won't remember it unless you really take the time and energy to trace it back. And from Chanel's perspective, they just lost your attention. Imagine for 30 days now, right? From Chanel's perspective, they just lost your attention. They essentially lost you as a customer if they stopped marketing and advertising. And this is why a lot of fashion brands are stressing out right now. They have to decide whether or not they keep investing in marketing and advertising, but I know if they don't, they lose out on customer perception. This stress opens a limited window of opportunity in advertising. How? Because of the reset and the stress, many brands can't afford or are scared to advertise because of costs and perceived risk. They have to cut costs, withdraw marketing, and play defense because of the market resetting. And there's only one pie, and 10 people will want the pie and competing for it. There's a lot of competition between the 10 people to get the pie. Now, if only 3 people want the pie because the other 7 couldn't compete anymore, competition is severely less. Translating to the social platforms, there's now less competition competing for the same eyeballs and audiences you want. And what this does is decreases ad costs temporarily. I say temporarily because these times don't last forever. Allowing efficient founders who have a strong brand, valuable products customers want, and healthy profit margins to advertise even more aggressively and be extremely ahead of their competitors. You scoop up customers at a sweet discount you normally pay more for, and you establish dominant customer perception in your market when times are bad. Then when the recession is over and your competitors are finally recovering, you're already leagues ahead of them. This is exactly what John D. Rockefeller did. And if you haven't heard of Rockefeller, he's one of America's most famous and influential businessmen. What he did during a recession he increased his marketing spend to acquire customers while his competitors pulled back. He knew in the back of his mind that if he did this, he would be miles ahead of his competition. And by doing so, a lot of his competition actually lost value because a majority of customers are now coming to him first and only knowing him instead of everyone else. And for some context, this was back in the day when social media didn't even exist. All everyone had was like newspapers, word of mouth, and maybe some radio. And once the recession was over, he was able to buy out all of his competitors for pennies on the dollar and establish his empire. Back in the 1930s, when Kellogg's was on its way up, there was actually another cereal brand called Tri-Cereal. Tri-Cereal at the time was at the top of the market. And during the recession, Tri-Cereal decided to cut down all marketing spend almost to zero. Whereas Kellogg's doubled down on marketing spend, and not only that, released a new collection, and one of them being Rice Krispies, a favorite still to this day. I'm sure you know what this is. You can guess what happened to Tri-Cereal because of their decision. You may not have even known about Tri-Cereal if it weren't for this document. This illustrates 2 important points. As a fashion brand, your business model must be efficient for profit and growth to prepare for times like these or risk being wiped out. Recessions provide you a window of opportunity to double down, grow to the next level, and set yourself up for even more success when times are better. And it may seem counterintuitive at first to do this, but as you can see, it works. So what's the most efficient and profitable way to do so? You do this with viral bestseller ads. Viral bestseller ads resonate with the new customer so well, they buy on the first purchase just from that ad, even if they've never heard of your brand before. Meaning they went through your entire funnel from ad to checkout in one go and bought. And that's just the beginning. Because they have such a smooth buying experience from A to Z as a new customer, and they love your product, a viral effect starts to occur. A viral effect most fashion brands don't know is if your product and customer experience is on point, your advertising cost actually decreases exponentially. How? You have the power of word of mouth working for you. And many fashion brands underestimate or just don't even know how powerful this is. Because there are only 2 ways to build a profitable and long-term fashion brand. You either sell something that people will never stop buying from you, or you build a brand where people will never stop selling for you. As you scale and grow, you have to reach newer and newer customers who have never heard of you before, which means less and less trust and less of an ideal customer for you, which means your ad costs will only go up. Advertising costs will only go one way for the rest of time, up. Your ROAS on newer and newer audiences will always go one way, down. So how do you combat 2 things that are inevitably going against you? You need something that compounds exponentially and not linearly for you. And that something is word of mouth. Customers love to brag and show off new things they got of value. They post on their social media, they tag you, and everyone that follows them now gets exposure to your brand without you even running ads to them first. They go check out your brand, and a percentage of them will convert. And they also share the ad and your social media in their group chats with their close friends. All the group chat she's in with all their friends all see your product and brand, and because there's a deep level of trust among them, they also go to your brand and buy, going through a similar buying process that their friends went through. And then those friends do the same as well, repeating this process. 1 leads to 4, 4 leads to 16, 16 leads to 48, etc. It compounds and goes viral. Your customers are now advertising for you, getting you sales and engagements you didn't even have to pay to acquire, therefore unlocking more audiences and data for you to target for free. And with word of mouth compounding for you in the back end, the social platforms see that your brand is giving its users value. From their perspective, your brand and your ads are being shared, there's positive engagement, there's great reviews, purchases are happening, etc. Your good friend Mark. And as a result, the platforms reward you. They lower your cost per acquisition, CPA, and cost per 1,000 impressions, CPM. And they actually adjust the price of traffic in your favor. This increases your return on ads for your ROAS, and also allows you to spend more on the platform. The platform makes more money, your users are happy, and you profit more as you scale to newer and newer audiences. So you have word of mouth driving your ad costs down, and because your ad costs are going down, it allows you to spend more and acquire more new customers at a more profitable ROAS with your viral bestseller ads. And to add the cherry on top, right now ad costs are also low temporarily due to market conditions, as I covered in the earlier trend. Right? So the beauty of viral bestseller ads is that they last for weeks, months, and sometimes years without changing much about it. You probably have seen this, or a variation of this Dior Sauvage ad before. Johnny Depp signed with Dior as the face of Sauvage in 2015. It's 2023, and he's still with them. That's 8 years of promoting the same product and doing the same kind of ad. Nothing's changed much about it. Why? Because Dior knows it brings in sales over and over again. It resonates with new audiences, and people talk about it constantly, like I am now. That is how powerful viral bestseller ads are. Once something is viral, you just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. This results in extremely profitable and efficient growth online. Your budget and strategy is streamlined. So the question is, how do you make viral bestseller ads? You need an efficient process. Up until now, the exact steps on how to create profitable viral bestseller ads have yet to be defined. Many agencies and freelancers can only achieve profit from remarketing heavily to existing customers instead of to newer and newer customers. Remarketing and also some retargeting is when they can make crazy claims on high ROAS numbers, but it's actually not driving real growth for a fashion brand because they aren't expanding to new audiences. It's the easy route. It's vanity, it leads to plateauing. Many of them don't understand fashion well enough to stay on top of the seasons and trends. They can't give useful insight on long-term growth. So there's a gap. My partner and I solved for this. First with our own fashion brand before we built and sold, and then we proved it out with over 14 fashion brands just like yours, 90% women's fashion brands, getting them more new customers and rapid growth while being very profitable. And we still do this to this day. And it's the only place you can get access to this process. So my background is, my name is Brandon, yours truly, and I grew up in the fashion capital of New York City. I started and sold a fashion brand online with Erwin Kaiser a couple years back. And ever since, we've been taking our insights and strategies like this viral bestseller ad process to scale other women's fashion brands. And again, these are many of the women's fashion brands that we've done this for. Now, when we had our brand, one of the biggest issues we faced was scaling the brand online profitably and efficiently. We brought in ad agencies and tried in-house employees, but most of them never lasted long term because they didn't understand fashion. Plus, agencies cost a lot of money up front. We decided to double down and figure out how to scale ourselves. We tested different ad strategies, creatives, copy, targeting, you name it, until we cracked the viral bestseller ad process. It scaled us past 7 figures in sales a year while keeping our costs low. And then eventually we sold the brand. Other founders started asking us how we did, what we did, and how we did it. So now we help other women's fashion founders do the same with our growth strategies. And for what it matters, I've been featured in publications like Hall Living, Luxury, Lifestyle Magazine. You can just Google my name, Brandon C, and you'll find more similar articles like this. And I have the links in the document if you want to check more of it out. So how to get viral bestseller ads. So there are essentially 6 steps. Identify and focus on your bestsellers, design the site to sell, build a 3-phase fashion ad strategy, and test and validate viral trends. Set up your analytics properly, start or scale your ads, tweak based on data, and you'll get viral bestseller ads. Now, first one, identifying and focusing on bestsellers. To create viral bestseller ads, you need to use the bestsellers. Mind blown, right? A very simple concept, but often overlooked, even at the million and multi-million dollar level. First off, why focus on bestsellers? It's simple. Your bestsellers are the most proven products to have demand in your market. You can sell this product over and over again because of product market fit. Now, multiple times in your life, you must have seen some sort of ads for the number 5 perfume from Chanel, right? The black and white ad on the top left was made from a 1937 campaign featuring Gabrielle Chanel, published in Harper's Bazaar. This one right here. And the one to the right is a vintage ad made in 1955. And the one below is featuring Marion Cotillard in a 2022 campaign just last year. If you're a big fan of her and I butchered her name, I apologize. Right? These are just 3 of the infinite amount of ads Chanel has for the number 5. So this one perfume has been marketed and advertised for almost 100 years. Think about it. What changed? Again, nothing much. They just changed the celebrities, designs, and the angles in the ads to appeal to newer audiences as possible. But Chanel doesn't stop there. There are also many variations of number 5, like the parfum, like the toilette, right? All that stuff. And now there's also now mini sprays of the number 5 instead of bigger sizes for customers perhaps who like to travel more and like to save on space. And there's also different subcategories of the number 5, like this one, right? So you have the number 5 and you have a subcategory of it. However, the core bestseller still remains the same. It's the number 5 perfume. Chanel may have many different other perfumes, but why did they decide to push number 5 like there's no tomorrow? Because they know this is their best seller and has demand. It stands the test of time. Instead of risking money into launching new products that may or may not have product market fit, they just make variations of number 5 because they know the chances of variations will sell like hotcakes is extremely high. And as I've shared this Chanel example with you now, I'm giving them free advertising, word of mouth, right? That's how powerful viral bestseller ads are. If a fashion brand as big as Chanel is still doing this, small to medium-sized women's fashion brands should take note and do the same. The customers want what they want, so give them more of what they want. And if a new customer who's never heard of your brand before comes to your site, chances are they will buy the bestseller first. Now, for example, spreading thin versus bestseller focus, right? By focusing on your bestsellers, your profit actually goes up while your costs lower because most of your inventory will just be your bestsellers. Inventory based on data, it will move fast and sell profitably. Instead of just spreading yourself thin and risking cash on products that don't sell as fast and just collecting dust, as a result, you now also focus more and more of your marketing and ads on just your bestsellers to create viral bestseller ads, streamlining your ad strategy. They will sell out more and faster than most of your other products, guaranteed. Creating a repeatable and predictable buy and sell cycle. The more you scale the viral bestseller ads, the more you sell, the more you buy, the more you dominate your market. A profitable upward spiral. And during these market conditions and recessions, efficiency and profit is what will help you thrive and scale while your competitors fall behind. Having viral bestseller ads allow you to take huge advantage and set yourself up for the future when times are getting better. Now, to identify your top bestsellers on Shopify, or if you're using, let's say, another different platform, I'm sure you have a way to access this kind of data. Go to your analytics and look at your top products by units sold. For the timeline, make sure to put a lifetime ever since the brand started, or even I'll say just last year, to have the most relevant data. And you will see over here, right, that the best sellers would be that top and occupy the most amount of sales compared to your other products. Look, 71, 59, 39, 26, 4. Right? It's the difference is night and day. This is the foundation on which viral bestseller ads are built on. Without identifying and focusing on your bestsellers, experiencing rapid growth and profitable growth is highly unlikely. And these are the products you will be focused on to create viral bestseller ads and affect customers efficiently. And just to quickly add on top of that, the reason why this works is called the principle. It's called the Pareto principle. It's called the 80-20 principle. All right, that means that 20% of all activities is always responsible for 80% of the results. Therefore, in fashion, 20% of your products, your bestseller and hero products, are responsible for 80% of the sales, which is why this works. And next one, designing the website to sell. In order to achieve virality and get word of mouth working for you, the customer has to be able to buy as efficiently as possible and ultimately have a great experience while doing so. With attention span generally dropping lower and lower each year, this part becomes even more important. You don't want a customer to think too hard when buying. They just want to be whisked away on a smooth adventure and everything just magically works out for them, right? Many times, however, a fashion brand's website is designed to just look good for aesthetics and for the sake of being on brand. This causes many issues like slow loading times, not mobile friendly, and hard to check out, leaving the customer confused. The new customer then abandons the website out of frustration, the conversion rate drops, and you miss out on a lot of easy sales. It leaves a bad first impression. Remember, these are new customers who have never heard of you before. After one bad experience, at least 20% of new customers will stop shopping. First impressions count. Now, word of mouth won't work for you and may even work against you. The customer can post negative reviews and complaints on your social media and also their own social media. They may not even consider your brand anymore since they developed a negative association with you in their mind, right? And this also increases your cost per view content on the ad level because customers aren't taking the next steps once they land on your site. Now look at the physical locations of Louis Vuitton and Chanel. Yes, we can agree that their store does look good and is on brand. But what makes them so successful is their stores are designed for one thing: to sell products. You bet they invested millions and millions of dollars to perfect their shopping experience and efficiently sell products. Everything in the store is in place for them for a specific reason, from the product placement to the fragrance used. They make you wait in line outside just to create demand for everyone passing by. It draws attention and curiosity. It's also done to raise your urgency and buying state to want the product even more when they finally let you in. And you may not even get it because there's a limited quantity. It's also on purpose, right? The brands now, they don't tell the retail stores how much product they're getting. So it's actually a true scarcity. And then once you're in, the sales rep give you their attention. They make you feel special with champagne, sparkling water. They listen to you. They make you feel good. Everyone is trained to sell. Everything is monitored and tracked so they can keep improving. And because customers have such a great experience shopping, the word of mouth compounds for the brand. This is the same approach you must take for your online store. It's no different. Some key ways to design your website to sell efficiently and smoothly for the customer. Navigation tabs. New ins and bestsellers are always a must. This is where the majority of new customers will go first and where the viral bestseller ads will drive audiences too. You should also only have a few main categories in the navigation tab. 3 main categories are typically the best after new wins and bestsellers. And when a customer clicks on a category, that's when you show them the subcategories. You don't want to lump all your categories in the navigation tab. This will overwhelm and confuse a new customer and they won't explore further. Less is more. Now, using MDV as an example, because a lot of the stuff that they do, we also do as well for the fashion brands. Product page. This is one of the most important parts of your website and the customer experience. When a customer lands on your product page, make it as easy as possible for them to see the product, the information about it, and to buy without confusion. Everything is focused on the product, right? Product, as you can see here. Show the product from all angles, the front, back, right side, left side, to give the customer a 360 view of the product, simulating as if they're seeing it in person, give them that feeling that they're buying in person. Always show the product on a model, right? Let the customer know what is the height and weight of the model and what the size of the product is on the model. These details matter. The product page must also answer questions a customer has in their mind before they make a purchasing decision. There are many ways to do this. In your product descriptions, briefly describe what benefits it brings to the customer. Let the product content speak for the product, not your product descriptions. If you have product descriptions, just keep it short and even hit it. Include relevant information, like what material is used, how much percentage of each material, the design aspects, etc. And don't have crazy long descriptions. Keep it concise and to the point. So as you can see here, the description is hidden, right? But if you click it, this is what shows up, right? Okay, and then for sizing chart, use an extensive and detailed sizing chart, not just some basic small, medium, large. And what does each size entail exactly? Go into the measurements of each part of the body, the different sizing depending on which country the customer is from, etc. As you see here, there's a drop down: UK, US. Don't leave it up to chance. Lay out all the information for a customer to need to make a decision. Give them the VIP experience. Don't leave it up to chance. They will get frustrated with guessing what your size means and abandon the cart. And if you're on Shopify, this is a great app for it. It's called Kiwi Sizing. And for customer reviews, add customer reviews. It can be Trustpilot, customer emails, posts. Reviews go a long way. Even something simple as Trustpilot. Remember, these are new customers. Chances are they are skeptical and a bit unsure since the first time they came to your site. Relieve their worries with social proof. If you're using Klaviyo, use Klaviyo reviews and other Shopify apps for this, right? And this is a proven product and customer review app for Shopify. It's called Yotpo Social Reviews. Now, customers nowadays watch and track the shipping and delivery like a hawk. They want it fast. They want it now. Give them an easy tracking experience. Provide them information on how to deal with the delivery issue if it comes up, and what the delivery time is to wherever they are. And this is a proven Shopify app called Loop Returns. In your analytics, look at your customers segment by countries and states if you're in the US. Take the top locations where most of your customers are and create a detailed list of delivery times for these locations, as you can see here. All right, delivered to Australia, UK, Europe, USA, right? And this builds trust with the customers since you're not hiding how long it takes. Transparency in fashion goes a long way. It means more purchases and give the customers a great experience, helping create this viral effect. Now, upselling. There are many ways to upsell customers. However, these are some of the best ways we found and most effective for fashion brands, and especially women's fashion brands, to make it easy and efficient for the customer to buy more. During checkout, you will recommend products for the customers to buy. Products that, based on website data, customers also bought in the past with the same item that they're checking out with. You would bundle it under frequently bought together, right below the main item. This makes it extremely easy and efficient for the customer to click one time and add more products to cart, instead of going back to the site and risk a drop-off. And they're already in a buying state at checkout. Perfect time to offer more items that you know they will likely buy as well. And even only 1 or 2 out of every 5 customers take the upsell, those extra purchases came at no additional cost on the front end. At volume, it stacks up very quickly, giving you more cash flow to advertise aggressively and scale. So if you're on Shopify, this is the best app for it. Swatch's pop-up cart, as you can see here, right? Angelina silk dress. The customer adds this, frequently bought together. Boom, boom, boom. Because we know Shopify knows based on data, people who add this to cart also bought this. And you can see, they can just add it with one click. They don't have to go to the site to try to find it again. And shop the look, complete the look. This is typically on the bottom of the page, of the product page. There's a segment of customers who want to have a full outfit look. If they're interested in one piece of the outfit, chances are they will be interested in other pieces of the outfit. Give them more of what they want. Your average order value per customer will be worth a lot more as a result. Have all the pieces of the outfit on the same product page so the customer can see everything at once. For each piece of the whole outfit, have an add to cart button under each of them so the customer can add each product while still being on the same page, same product page. You want to avoid redirecting them each time into a new product page, as this can risk a drop off. Keep the process efficient and smooth for the customer. As you can see here, right? Here's the look, here are the items, add to bag, here's the price, boom, all the information right there, and make it easy for them to add to cart. Now, other Shopify apps we use for our fashion clients that have increased their conversion rate and average order value. If you want to use for feed for Google and Facebook ads, Google Shopping Feed. If you want to use UGC on your website and turn videos into shopping elements, Reel Up is a good one. If you want to have a loyalty program, GrowWave is a great one. Now, by designing your website to sell, customers have a smooth and efficient buying experience. Your lifetime value per customer will increase because of the smooth process. It leaves a good taste in their mouth. Now that they're part of your brand, they will also buy more in the future from your back-end marketing. Your AOV will be high because they will buy more products, and ultimately your conversion rate will increase. You make more profit from the same amount of traffic you are getting organically and buying ads by designing and optimizing your store to sell. It leads to word of mouth compounding on the back end, which leads to viral bestseller ads on the front end, a positive cycle that compounds over time. Now, building the 3-phase fashion ad strategy. Let's take a sip here. The 3-phase fashion ad strategy. 4, if your average order value is over $120. It's a simple and sustainable strategy used to test, validate, and scale viral bestseller ads while remaining profitable. Now, each phase builds on top of each other. Now, the old way is trying to funnel new customers from top of funnel to middle of funnel and all the way down to the bottom of funnel and then to buy. It sounds logical. A new customer needs some time to think about it, explore more of your brand, a lot of touch points, and then buy. And especially if your average order value is like $150 to like a couple $100 and higher, right? It sounds logical. However, it's very inefficient. Here's why. First off, you're optimizing for the wrong thing. Each stage of the funnel is optimized for them to view content, add to cart, etc. And only at the bottom of the funnel is it optimized for purchase. And it's following the logic of TOF, MOF, BOF. What this does is decreases your conversion rate because you're telling Facebook you want a lot of people to view content, you want a lot of people to add to cart, but not buy. So you have a lot more traffic and sessions, but no conversions because that's what you're optimizing for. Then when you try to retarget them heavily on BOF, not many convert because the audience at the beginning was all wrong. You want people who only cared about viewing your content and adding to cart. That's what you told Facebook you wanted, right? It's not magically when you retargeted them with ads, suddenly they'll do a complete 180 and buy. Second, moving a customer from TOF, MOF to BOF all costs ad budget at each stage because they're all extra touch points. So you're basically spending money on the wrong people in the first place that won't even convert in the end, right? And you may also experience or heard of a lifetime LTV strategy or system where you can break even on the front end or even take a loss, but you can make it back on LTV. Thing is, not all customers will repeat purchase on the back end. It may sound logical at first, but it's flawed. It's also another excuse because the agencies can't get new audiences to convert on the first purchase. Why not just be profitable from the get-go, right? So the new way, with the 3-phase fashion ad strategy, 98% of the ad budget is focused on cold top of funnel to convert new customers profitably on their first purchase. They go straight to purchase instead of going through the whole funnel journey. 2% or less goes into remarketing to existing customers. Since the goal is to achieve resonance and virality to new customers, this is why the budget is split this way. This is how you grow quickly and dominate your market. Also, your ad budget is more efficient because you're optimizing for the only thing that matters: purchases, customers buying your product. Money is not wasted on extra steps. This is the high-level overview of the strategy. So now let's dive deep into each phase and in detail and how it all works together. So first, we'll cover the 4 phases and then the process of how to test, validate, and create viral bestseller ads. Phase 1, window shopping. Online retail has become the online window shopping. People want to look, and then decide if they want to buy. Give them that option. As a women's fashion brand, you want to show off. You want to show off what you're all about. You want to give people more options. If you show them a red dress but they're looking for a blue dress, it means they have to go to your site and look for the blue dress themselves. Why not show them directly on the platforms? To do that, you'll be using carousel ads. What does a carousel ad allow you to do? Carousel ads allow you to show 8 to 10 of your best sellers. Show them your top 8 to 10 best sellers because this is what people are looking for, right? Ties back to the best sellers. They are proven, these are proven to sell the most when people go to your site. Best sellers are the products new customers are most likely to buy as their first purchase. They have the highest potential of going viral. And what you do with the carousel ads is you make 3 carousel ad variations of your top 8 to 10 best sellers. So there's 3 carousel ads, right? Each of these carousel ad variations have the exact same best sellers in the exact same order, but different images of each bestseller in each ad variation. So you have 3 different images for each bestseller, 1 image in each ad variation, and you repeat this for all the bestsellers you're using. And each of the bestseller images are linked to a specific product on the website. Phase 2, UGC and lifestyle content. Now, what kind of content can you use to have different variations in your carousel ads? Content comes down to mainly 2 options, UGC and lifestyle. Most popular forms of UGC are either from customers or influencer generated. You specifically want to use UGC content featuring your bestsellers for virality. So when you're collaborating with influencers, make sure to have them only promote your bestsellers. If it's a customer's content, only use the ones with their bestsellers in them. Lifestyle is simply content created from your own internal team, yourself, or done with an external hire with your creative directing. Proven examples are flat lays, e-commerce shots in a plain background, and editorials. These 2 options keep your content very simple and efficient. You either make lifestyle content or UGC content depending on what you need. They both work very well. From time to time, you want to switch it up. Quite often, you use lifestyle content for your carousel ads, whether it's when your new collection drops or when you're scaling because you control this the most, right? Once customers start to make content, influencers start to make content, you can follow it up with UGC for your carousels. Now, at phase 3, after profitable carousels, you will only move on to this phase once you have a profitable carousel ad that's converting new customers. Once you have it, you take the exact same content in the exact same order in the exact carousel ad, and then you make a 15-second bestseller video or a GIF ad. Each bestseller gets shown 1 second in the video. So if you have 8 bestsellers, it would be 8 seconds of showing your bestsellers in the exact order of your carousel ad. Then, for the time left in the video, depending on how many bestsellers you have, you will show your brand logo, your brand slogan, and a call to action. They don't strictly have to be 1 second like your bestsellers, but just enough to fill up the rest of the video so you can pace it yourself. Right? Example of proven call to action lines are discover a new collection, explore new arrivals, shop now. Phase 4, if your average order value is over $120. If your average order value is over $120, you take the same video or GIF ad from phase 3 and you run it as an experience ad to new customers. It's an ad that leads a customer to a customizable journey where they can see photos, videos, and text of your products. You simply take your catalog and here you pick the 10 products you want to promote, or let Facebook show the products to people they think are relevant. We recommend letting Facebook show the products because of the immense data they have access to. Let Facebook do all the work for you. So, With these phases running together at the same time and one building on top of the other, you now have a simple and sustainable structure you can rely on to start and scale your viral bestseller ads. So not only does your profit go up, but your costs go down as a result because your advertising strategy is focused on what sells the most and selling more of it. It's predictable and streamlines your budget. So how to create viral bestseller ads. This is the process you use to test, validate, and create viral best-selling ads. When you have an ad that is converting and getting traction, don't let it go to waste. This is a time to double down and start testing heavily. Let's say one of your carousel ads is getting traction and is converting at a positive ROAS. You see most of the clicks and purchases are coming from bestseller A's lifestyle content. The content has a French blonde petite model. From her facial expression and body language, she's in a relaxed mood. She's posed leaning back against a wall, enjoying the sun with some props around her like a book, some fruits, and red wine. The location is Lake Como. There's classic Italian architecture around her with the lake in view behind her. The image is a full body shot. You can see her whole outfit, most of the setting, and the props. Next time that you create content, pick one of these elements to include in your next shoot. Let's say you want to test if it's the French blonde petite model that is resonating with your customers. You bring her again for your next shoot. When you launch ads with this model again, and the ads are also converting well yet again, you just proved a test, meaning your customers resonate with this specific model. Now that you know your customers resonate with this kind of model, any future content you do, whether it's a new collection or refresh content, include this type of model. If you tested it again and it doesn't convert well with the model, you also proved the test, meaning it wasn't your model that customers resonate with. Perhaps it was another element. So they go back to that winning ad and you pick another element to test. It may be that the kind of location that resonates with customers. Maybe they like classic Italian architecture and a view with water in it. Who knows, right? So with this simple system, instead of creating content just because it looks good and is on brand, you're purposely testing elements in your content creation with the goal of understanding what exactly goes into an ad that your customers resonate with. If something works or doesn't, you're still winning. You're progressing and getting closer and closer to virality. You can't lose with this approach, right? It's simple as this. You have a winning ad. Test same model from winning ad. Ad also winning, use the same model. Not converting, test another element, right? So you'll eventually reach this point where you know all the exact elements that make up a viral bestseller ad from your testing. It will look something like this above. Artsy Parisian interior, right? Blonde petite model. Full body shots showing the whole outfit. Props, red wine, colorful books, fruit basket. Body language is elegant, relaxed, graceful. Vintage vibe, editing style, warm sunlight, not harsh light. All these things matter. Imagine any content you make. It's guaranteed to convert right off the bat. When you scale it, the chances of it going viral is extremely high. You wouldn't have to change a thing on a viral bestseller ad for a long time. You just keep scaling it because it has all the elements that resonate with your ideal customer. So you just you just know every time you do, maybe you create content in-house or you work with, you have a big shoot or editorial, you just know A, B, C, D, E needs to be there, and boom, it'll work in ads. And using the Sauvage example again, Dior knows Johnny Depp in this specific kind of look and style, in these kind of settings, with these specific colors, with this specific color grading, and these kind of camera angles is what their target audience resonates with. The result is a viral bestseller ad for Dior that's running for 8 years straight now, raking in sales and making Bernard, owner of LVMH, very happy. Creating viral bestseller ads also puts you ahead of all your competition because they aren't willing to do this, or they just don't have this kind of access to this kind of insight you're having right now, right? So I'll touch on fashion ad copy. The copy is also something you want to test to know what resonates with your customers. However, it isn't the most important part of a viral bestseller ad. Customers nowadays aren't going to read paragraphs and long text. Their attention spans are too low, right? It may even feel spammy to them and it can even block the content. The format is just 1 to 2 lines max that communicates your brand message with 1 to 2 emojis max if you want. Sometimes the ad copy isn't even needed, just the content. The content is what sells and what your focus should be on. The content is what makes it goes viral. The copy is only a support for the content. Now, sell full price. Oftentimes, many fashion brands think that targeting new customers with a discount is good because it gets the purchase in, and perhaps they can make it back in LTV. There's always a time to offering a discount. For example, an email opted from a customer in exchange for a small discount, right? Or if you're doing a clearance to move inventory. But using discounts and ads to mainly drive new customers in is a no-go. I strongly advise against this, especially in today's day and age. Short term, yeah, you gain sales and revenue, sure. However, the people you are attracting are only in it for the discount. These are the kind of customers you don't want. All they care about is price. They just want a good deal. What happens long term is twofold. One, if it's the first time you're getting someone to interact with your brand and your discount, it will devalue everything you have built. Your brand is devalued because customers aren't loyal to the brand. They're loyal to the discount. Your customer list quality isn't worth much, right? Second, if you decide to release new products and want to sell it at full price, conversions will drop because there's no discount. Now you have to either keep discounting to drive sales, which digs the hole deeper and makes you less money, or you have to spend resources to shift back your brand perception away from being a discounting brand, which takes time. So how do you sell full price? Don't advertise and sell commodities. If you're selling commodities, then you need to discount because all they see is commodities. Advertise and sell the identity and the lifestyle, and align your product with the identity and lifestyle. Like the Birkin bag from Hermes. They're simply showing new audiences how the Birkin elevates them to that specific identity and lifestyle. From there, it's just a natural way for them to buy the product, if they can, right? This ties back to creating viral bestseller ads. Hermes knows what elements they need to have in their ads that aligns with the identity and lifestyle of the target audience that gets them to buy, right? No discounts. Exceptional products of value shouldn't need to use discounts to incentivize new purchases. If the product is in demand, of value, and you do everything in your power to make the item as great as possible, it'll be worth its value. People will pay a full price for it. People pay a full price because they know the value of what it's worth. They know what they are getting. This repels people who are looking for discounts and attracts people who sees its value. These are the customers you want to attract. Customers that resonate with what your brand stands for and the value of the products you sell. These customers will buy full price. They stay loyal to your brand and will buy over and over what you offer them at full price. This also applies to the back-end automations, like the email marketing. Make sure it's all set up correctly where new customers won't get incentives. I've seen cases where new customers have already bought something at full price, but then they get an abandoned cart email incentivizing 10% off, for example, right? Then the customers start to realize that you offer these discounts and may not buy at full price anymore, lowering your brand value. So, a trick to influence full price behavior. Now, is there a way you can influence full price behavior and away from discounting on ads? Yes, there is. There is a fun trick and you could do it specifically with Google Ads to achieve this. And if your brand is struggling with discount issues and perception, discount perception, this trick is a must-do to shift back to full price ASAP. You can thank me later. Some customers like to go to Google and search your brand name and then discount code. For example, Louis Vuitton discount code, Louis Vuitton discount, Louis Vuitton promo code, etc. Have a team member comb through your discount verbiage and compile as many search phrases around discounts that customers would look up. What you do is set up Google Ads on these search terms, and the creative can be anything funny. It could be a smiley face, maybe it could just be like a text like "Sorry, we don't know discounts," right? Or "Nice try," right? The goal is to send a message to the customer in a fun way that you know what they are doing. They have a laugh and get a mess, and they understand the message, and it shifts their behavior to either buy full price or not. If they don't, who cares? That's also a win for you. You only want customers who aligns with your brand and buy full price anyway. Right. Set up analytics properly. There are many numbers you can track, but there are only a few that matter when scaling viral bestseller ads. Many fashion brands don't understand their numbers clearly enough. This leads to them relying on hope and blindly trusting a freelance or an agency. That's how you burn money. Use data instead of hope to avoid all those problems. The core analytics that matters are break-even ROAS, CPA, cost per acquisition, and AOV. Now, I made this analytics calculator that you have access to through this document, as you can see here. So, this is an automatic analytics calculator we use internally to help clients understand key analytics. Now I made publicly for you. Just make a copy of it so you can plug your own numbers to understand your analytics. So for example, you want to know your break-even ROAS, your gross profit margin, your net profit from ads, net return from ads, all this, you just plug your numbers. I'll just change this for example, right? Let's say your profit margin is 50%, right? You see, and then your average order value is $200. You can see how they changed to break-even ROAS for 2, and the max you can pay for a customer is $100. Right? So, I'll break down the math here just so you have a better understanding of how this works. Break-even ROAS is calculated by 1 divided by your profit margin percentage. Let's say, for example, your profit margin is 60%. 1 divided by 60% is 1.66, which is your break-even ROAS. This means if you spend $1 on ads, you have to get $1.66 back to break even. If your ROAS is above a 1.66, let's say a 2, then you know you're profitable. If your ROAS is under 1.66, let's say a 1.5, then you're losing money. If your average order value is $50, your break-even CPA is $30. 50 divided by 30 is 1.66. 66% profit margin, 60% profit margin is your break-even ROAS, right? This means that if it costs you more than $30 to acquire a customer with a 50 AOV, you are negative. If less, then it's positive. But there are other factors to keep in mind. The reported revenue you see on Facebook is the data Shopify or your whatever platform sends to Facebook. It's the cash amount people check out with. However, this is not what you receive. The amount you see on Facebook include costs like VAT if you're in Europe and shipping, just as an example, right? So with the $50 example, you have to first deduct 21% for VAT and then $5 for shipping, which is $34.5. So if your CPA was $30, you actually made a loss because we haven't even factored other costs yet. Your CPA actually has to be below a 30 in order to be profitable. So the goal is to know what your net is. You first always want to start with your gross profit. Take your reported revenue on Shopify and deduct costs like shipping, VAT, right, if you're in Europe first, then deduct the cost of goods sold. Let's say reported revenue is $40. VAT and shipping is $10. 40 minus 10 is 30, which is your net revenue. Then cost of goods sold is 10. 30 minus 10 is 20, which is your gross profit. Take this gross profit and divide it by your net revenue. 20 divided by 30 is 66%. So as an example, if you make $100 in revenue with a 66% margin, you make $66. And remember, we want the true reported revenue from ads. Continue the 66% gross profit margin example, there's 34% left. Let's say on Facebook, you make $200 for spending $100. That's a 2 return on ad spend. Sounds all right, sounds okay on the surface, but what's the true reported revenue? Using VAT again, 200 minus 90% VAT is $162. Then 162 minus 55, which is 34% of 162, because we have a 66% gross margin, which equals $107. Now you have to also minus the ad spend of $100, which leaves you with $7 profit from ads, and we're only taking cost of goods sold into account. This doesn't even include your overhead. This is just mainly front end. So even with a 2 ROAS, 9 times out of 10, the math doesn't work out. It has to be above a 2 ROAS for you to be profitable. This is why it is so important to do this calculation before you turn on any ad. You want to be absolutely clear on what your spend and returns have to be in order to profit. And once you have your analytics set up properly, starting and scaling viral bestseller ads is very simple. You have clarity and confidence that no one can BS you, and you avoid vanity metrics like views and revenue and focus on what matters, profit. You know exactly what the core numbers are, the ROAS CPA, you need to be in order to achieve profitability, right? Budget suddenly becomes unlimited. If you have a slot machine where you know if you spend $1 and you get $7 back, you keep doing it forever. Same concept here. Right? So if you're doing about 1 million in online sales a year and want to spend 10% of that on marketing, like 100,000, use the calculator and find out what is the break-even ROAS in a 10% model you need to hit for this to work. And this is something you need to update and calculate often as you grow because it can fluctuate. Your margin may improve, you may run a sale, etc. If you run a sale, for example, your prices change and your margin may dip. So now you need to get a higher ROAS than usual, not just the usual ROAS you get without the sale. Right? And the analytics calculator will save you a lot of time for that. So that was just a math breakdown, but you can just use this to just automatically know what numbers you need to hit. Start testing for or scaling viral bestseller ads. So if you're starting to test and create viral bestseller ads, this is for fashion brands who haven't run ads before or haven't done so in a while and want to restart it properly. Upload your customer list on Facebook so you can leverage existing data and not start from scratch. This allows you to create lookalike audiences right out the gate and new customers who are similar to existing customers. Again, 90% of the budget is focused on converting new customers at a profit on first purchase. Only 2% or less of the budget is focused on remarketing. In other terms, 90% top of funnel, 2% middle and bottom of the funnel. The goal here is to get viral bestseller ads for new customers. Start with a budget of $100 a day in the first week to test and find a profitable CPA ROAS. $100 a day is what we found best to start. Less than that and you won't get much data. It's too slow. More than that is unnecessary. If it doesn't work at $100, suddenly spending $300 isn't going to magically make the ad convert, right? Once you have a winning ad getting traction, increase the spend by 20% a day as long as it remains profitable. And this is also when you start the testing process to find out exactly what goes into a viral best-selling ad, and you strike when the iron's hot. Create a new campaign, call it Sandbox. This campaign is only for testing elements in the winning ad to find out what resonates with customers in order to create viral best-selling ads. Now, if you're scaling viral bestseller ads, and once you have gotten viral bestseller ads, Just keep increasing the ad spend and scale it as long as it's profitable. Viral bestseller ads can last for weeks, months, and sometimes even years without changing anything about it because you have the power of word of mouth virality working for you, right? The social platforms reward you by lowering your cost per acquisition and to lower your cost per 1,000 impressions, allowing you to spend even more money and dominate your market. Imagine you have word of mouth working for you, and you also have the winning elements just attracting new customers over and over again. However, this doesn't mean you stop testing. Viral best-selling ads last for a while, but not forever. You must be constantly testing new ways to find more angles, elements, and audiences to find new ways to create more viral bestseller ads. And a big mistake is thinking once you have this, you're set for life. Wrong. The platforms own the eyeballs. Remember, they decide the rules, the metaverse. If one day something changes on a platform and it affects the ad, and you haven't tested anything else or have more ads ready, it can kill a lot of your momentum. You'll be back to square one, essentially. Don't leave yourself hanging. When you are winning, that's when it's time to double down, not to rest on your laurels. Scaling to $1,000 to $5,000 plus spend a day. When you're spending this amount daily, consistency quite often drops, and before you know it, you're relying on hope instead of data. Stick to the fundamentals laid out in this document. Just because the numbers are higher now doesn't mean to deviate from fundamentals. And to not get too technical, these are the 3 frameworks used to scale at these ad spends. Vertical CBO scaling. Increase the ad budget of the proven campaign by 30% every 48 hours. Only increase if it's stable and profitable. This is why you always wait at least 48 hours before scaling again. Quickfire scale. Increase budget by 20%. Wait 2 minutes, increase again by 20%, and only do the second 20% increase if your learning phase didn't reset. Duplicate winning ad sets into a new campaign and raise the budget by 30 to 40%. And every week, just keep testing more new viral bestseller ads and scaling the current ones with a profitable CPA ROAS for your brand. Keep it simple. Now, what's the worst thing you can do? This is the worst thing you can do, right? The viral bestseller ads goal is to drive new customers onto your site and have them convert. That is it. And now because they last for a long time, sometimes the product content you are using in the ad are out of stock or from a past season. Some customers may suddenly start complaining about the stock or asking your support for those items, right? And then your team may also suggest turning them off because it may give a bad brand image or perception. How do you handle this as a founder? What you don't want to do is to edit the ad or turn off the ad. That is the worst thing you can do. If you turn off a viral best-selling ad, you destroy all momentum you had with that ad and you have to start again. And even if you do turn it on again, you may not experience the same momentum. Meta penalizes you, and now you give room to your competitors to take over. If a viral bestseller ad is working and converting new customers, that is all that matters. That tells you that despite those items being out of stock, new customers are still coming in and making a purchase. That is because you've tested and found all the exact elements that resonate with your new audiences and it converts them. The proof is in the numbers, right? If it's working, why would you stop what's working? Right? Retail stores are a great example of this. They put products on display to foot traffic to test and see what draws them in. Some of these products may not even be for sale. Some of them may not even be in stock yet, right? But that's not the point of them. The point of them is to get you through the door, get the customer through the door. And now that you're in the door, you've already committed to going to the store. And now you're walking around, you're exploring more items, and they may end up purchasing something. This translates exactly to online. So how do you keep your ads fresh? The only time you would turn off a viral bestseller ad is when you have tested and validated other ones that are getting similar results or even better ones. Hence why you must always be testing for new viral bestseller ads and not just bank on one. Only then would you replace the old ads with the new ones. And tweaking based on data. When you are testing, the analytics may not be where you want them to be yet. It takes time and testing to create viral bestseller ads, but it's worth it because you want the profit ROAS. It's like cracking a safe. You have to tweak based on the feedback you are getting. Once you unlock it, all the riches are yours. Disclaimer, I do not have experience in cracking a safe. You get what I mean. Even when you are scaling, sometimes certain numbers are off and you have to tweak it to get back on track. And below are the most common if-then scenarios you can use depending on which specific ones are off. If cost per unique outbound click, cost per measurement, CPM, or cost per click, CPC, is underperforming, change either the copy or the creative in the ad and test again. Only change one of them at a time so you know what works and what doesn't when testing. If your click-through rate, CTR, is low, this means your CPC is higher, which indicates your ad content isn't working. So you need to test a different lifestyle or UGC content to find out one that resonates. If you want to decrease your CPM, Increase your audience size. CPM is linked to audience size. If your cost per view content is higher than your CPC, it means most likely you need to optimize your landing page. Why? People click on your ad and go to your page, but they don't take the next step. If your cost per add to cart is really high compared to your cost per content view, it means you need to optimize your product page. It's not convincing enough for the customer. If there's a big drop off, you need to get back to the drawing board and identify a new product market fit with corresponding audiences. When comparing cost per initiate checkout to cost per initiate to cost per add to cart, you can see for yourself why you should always optimize for the intended action, a purchase. Otherwise, you get the visitor who adds a cart but never intends to buy in the first place. It screws up your data and it's pricey. Avoid. Just like how I mentioned earlier, in how the old way, right, middle, TOF, MOF, BOF, you want to avoid that because this is the reason why. You just want to go straight to purchase. That's all that matters. Comparing cost per purchase to cost per initiate checkout will tell you if your checkout process works. If there is a big drop off, it most likely means there's things like huge shipping fees, the customers can't find the information on return or shipping policy, they don't have the right payment providers, etc. This can be prevented with good market research and testing. Now, if your ad frequency is 3+, you have exhausted your audience and need to refresh. Sometimes I remember seeing some women's fashion brands, we see the frequency on retargeting is 36+. If your retargeting is that high, it's a big red flag. Your Facebook can ban you anytime. So if your frequency is that high, you increase your risk more and more of getting banned by Facebook. So when you're tweaking and optimizing, you want to let Facebook do the work for you. Let the data speak for itself and then tweak again. Don't watch over the campaigns 24/7. You want to wait at least 48 hours to get accurate data. Changing it all the time results in wasted money and no clear data. When you get enough data to tweak again, make sure to only change one thing at a time so you can determine if something is true or not. Give it 48 hours, and then again, repeat the cycle. Rushing will do you no good. Just like the testing process for viral best-selling ads, you have to test one thing at a time, or else you don't know what really made the difference. Right? So, the overview. You first focus on identifying and focusing on your best sellers. Best sellers already have product market fit. It's what customers want the most. It has the highest odds of becoming viral. It's the foundation for viral bestseller ads. Finding product market fit is one of the difficult things to do. Don't make it harder by trying other products that don't have the demand like your best sellers. Find what works and just do more of what works. And once you have identified your top sellers, review your website and design it to sell efficiently and smoothly for a new customer. It has to be optimized for new customers because that's the main target audience and biggest market. Your current customers are already part of your brand, and it won't affect them. This is how you get word of mouth compounding for you to help achieve virality in bestseller ads. Once that's set, implement the 3-phase fashion ad strategy into your ads manager. Begin testing, validating, and creating viral bestseller ads. Budget 90% on cold audiences, 2% remarketing. If you are starting, test and find a profitable ROAS and CPA to get traction with a profitable ad. If you're already running ads, restructure your campaigns and integrate the phases into it. Keep increasing the budget on the ads that are already profitable. The main focus, if you're starting or scaling, is to do the testing process to find out what exact elements resonate to create a viral bestseller ad. Eventually getting to the point where you create it, test it, and validate profitability, and it just attracts new customers the more you scale at a profitable ROAS. The ad fully resonates with new customers and newer customers the more you expand into broader markets and audiences. The social platforms see that you're giving its users value, so they reward you. Your CPA and cost per 1,000 impressions, CPM, drop because of the virality and word of mouth working for you on the back end, allowing you to counteract that rising ad cost and inflation and continue growing. And as you scale your viral bestseller ads, always keep testing more elements and audiences to have new ones ready. Viral bestseller ads in the metaverse last a long time, but not forever. Write ad copy that is simple and communicates your brand message in one to two sentences max. Use the analytics calculator to understand your numbers clearly in the beginning and as you are growing to always know if you're on track or not. It is your compass. Never rely on hope. Always use numbers and data. If the data needs tweaking, use the if-then scenarios to calibrate and adjust. This is how you can attract more customers and grow to 3 to 5+ million efficiently with viral bestseller ads. Recessions and downturns are a blessing for fashion brands with valuable products and great customer experiences. It eliminates the brands who are just existing and not of value, leaving room for those who are to thrive and get ahead. And now you can take this document for yourself and try to do it all yourself, or have us do it all for you on a performance basis and get your results in half the time without any of the mistakes you may encounter yourself. So if you'd like to partner with us to grow your women's fashion brand to 3 to 5 plus million, please book a time here in the document, or also I have a booking link in a description somewhere. To maintain the personalized attention and quality of our work, we only work with 20 fashion brands at a given time. If your women's fashion brand is a good fit, but we're at 20, you'll be placed on a wait list until we have spots opened up. Then we'll contact you back. So again, here are some results with viral bestseller ads we've gotten for women's fashion brands. As you can see more here, and here. These are the many women's fashion brands we've gotten similar results for. Here are the video testimonials, which is also in the description. Now, what's gonna happen when you partner with us? You'll be able to get viral bestseller ads in half the time. You'll be at ease because you now have an expert who can do all this for you. Your sales and profit will increase consistently per month. You'll be way ahead of your competitors during these market conditions. You can finally get rid of the no good marketing agency and forget about ever working with traditional agencies ever again. And you will feel confident because you know exactly what is happening. And again, this is where women's fashion brands around, or at least 1 million in sales a year minimum, with a healthy margin that want to grow to 3 to 5 plus million in sales efficiently. So now I'll cover many of the frequently asked questions I get from fashion founders before they work with us. Did the iOS update impact you a lot? It did make an impact in 2021. That's when we got tracking softwares to accurately track everything. In 2022 and now 2023, it's not that big of an issue anymore. If you have good branding and strategy, you will do well. Is there a certain category of clothing brands you work with more? Dresses are a big one, but we work with all the categories. How much time do you devote to an individual brand at a time? As much as it takes every day to get things going. So every day we're in the account, and on the calls every week or bi-weekly, we show you exactly what we're doing, go over the results, and what the next steps will be. What's your largest fashion and clothing brand's annual revenue? As of now, over 11 million a year. Do you guys mainly work with Facebook or Instagram ads? Are there any other marketing channels you guys use? What about TikTok? The foundation is Facebook and Instagram. This will always be your biggest growth channel. And as you grow, we'll add on Google, Pinterest, Snapchat, or TikTok, depending on where the audience is. And if you're already running other channels, we'll integrate into it. Do you guys only do ads? Our specialty is paid ads for women's fashion and clothing. That's what grew our brand successfully. It's the most efficient way. We will also advise you on other parts of your brand with our expertise, like increasing your conversion rate and average order value. Do you handle creatives completely, or do you take input from the brand on the direction they would like to go with the creative part of it? We will use the creatives you already have now to generate sales immediately while aligning with your brand image and direction. We can make quick edits like text overlays or video cuts, but we don't do the photo shoot itself. We will actively give you feedback on what creatives work so you can replicate it and what creatives don't work. This is part of the viral bestselling ad testing process. Who's mainly running the ads? Our CMO, Erwin, who has been my partner here and also on our previous brand. He's the head media buyer and oversees all ads. No one is contracted. Everyone is highly vetted internally. I'll have access to all the data and the numbers and all the stuff in the ads manager. Yes, the data belongs to you. We don't keep any of it. We run everything under your account, not ours. How do you guys deal with seasonality? We adjust the ads based on your seasonal trends, but also work with you to create a product strategy to counteract seasonality so your revenue doesn't dip. How much of a percentage of our revenue should I spend on ads? Is there a ratio I should stick with? The only thing that matters is you're profitable from ads, and that's determined by your profit margin, right? Using the analytics calculator. As long as you're profitable, meaning you're above your break-even ROAS, you can spend as much as you want. If you know you put $1 in a machine and gives you 4 back, like the slot machine example, you would just keep doing it. Do you find that a lot of your clients have moved away from Instagram because it has become less popular now that TikTok is taking all over the attention? Okay, so TikTok does work, but Instagram, Meta, will always be number one, especially for fashion. TikTok has only existed for 2+ years. Meta has been around for over a decade. TikTok mainly got big because of hype. However, Meta is still the top for women's fashion. Do you have any other brands that are in formal in the US? Yes. What is the brand you've built? What is the brand you've been with the longest? How many years have you been with them? Brands stay with us for over 2 years, and many of them are still with us since day one. The brands that stay with us the longest is under NDA, so some of them can't mention here. All right. If my brand sells to females, do you guys feel like you could put together ads as far as the branding, like the vibe? As to men, do you feel like you can tap into that? Or great question. Well, we grew and sold a successful women's fashion brand ourselves, and have been scaling other fashion brands and primarily women's for over 4 years. So it comes down to our market insight and understanding. We know where it's going, and we've just been delivering results. We proved it with us, and now we proved it with countless other women's fashion brands. So it's all skill and experience based. Where do you see e-commerce going in the next year with everything going on? E-commerce will continue growing to continue to grow as things move online. Yes, they may fluctuate with global market conditions, but it's one of the biggest growing markets and it won't stop anytime soon. Do you have any brands that are brick and mortar and trying to get them in the store? Yes, we do. We have strategies for that. Now, caveat for this, the brand's online numbers still have to do really well, direct to consumer. The brick and mortar is usually like an add-on or part of the business. So I just want to caveat, quick caveat on that. Do you help with maximizing different goals that we have as far as Black Friday, product launches and stuff? Yes, for holidays, giveaways, new launches, we'll come together and strategize to get the best result. At this point, we know the seasons, holidays, and what to do at each time of the year. How hands-on are you guys? You go in and tweak the ads on a daily basis? Yes, we're very hands-on. We actively monitor the progress and check if something needs to be tweaked. What sort of ad spend do you think I would need to start? What's the return like? On average, we would start with 3 to 5K for the first month if you haven't run ads for a while or never at all. When I said 3 to 5K, I mean I'm just averaging it out because within the first week, we're starting at $100 a day. Specific returns will depend on your numbers like profit margin, cost of goods sold, but you'll see a positive return within the first 2 weeks. And we increase spend by 20% per day as long as it's profitable. How often do you meet with clients? Either weekly or bi-weekly. We'll also be in direct content on Slack or text WhatsApp, depending on what you prefer. And you can message us for any questions or important topics and we'll answer the same day or day after. We actively give you feedback and share ideas with you. Is there still a way we can be involved in that process and kind of start to see and understand what's going on and how it's working? Yeah, so during our meetings, we go over in detail exactly what is happening so you understand the process and give you feedback on what we're doing next, what creatives are working best, where the budget is going, everything. It's all fully transparent. Where are you guys located? So we are a remote team. As of right now, I travel between New York and Europe. Erwin is in the Netherlands. How long have you guys been doing this? We've had a successful track record for over 4 years now in fashion and we're previous brand owners, so we know what you go through day to day. If we decide to dive into this, what would we do? What is the standard process in terms of next steps? You'll go through our automated onboarding process, no charge, which will give us everything we need, like the creatives and access to your ads manager. This will take you no longer than an hour. It's all automated. Then we'll have an onboarding call to answer any last minute questions, make sure we have everything in place, and then ads will be live in less than 3 days. So it's a very fast turnaround time. It doesn't take us a month, which is ridiculous, right? So, do you specialize in a specific country or market? Our main specialty is in the US, Australia, UK, and EU. The US is our top one. How many brands do you guys work with right now? As of now, 14. How big is your team? As of now, 4. So that covers everything in this in-depth guide and also the FAQ. If you are a women's fashion brand and you're at around $1 million or at least $1 million and you want to grow to 3 to 5+ million, book a call with me and we'll have a deeper dive conversation on see if you're a good fit. And if you are, I'll lay out all the expectations and then we can get you scaling and growing very fast. And if you do want to just use this to take this for yourself and test it first, by all means, this document is free. You can use it for yourself and your team and then try it out for yourself, right? But if you do want to shortcut your success and just grow to 3 to 5+ million in half the time without making any mistakes or just be on top of the women's fashion market, book a time with me in this document or in the description where this video is. And I look forward to speaking to you very soon.